first ones out of the group at that time had to go find a jobs, and that week they got me a job as a janitor at the U.S. Bank Tower in Chicago on 54th floor.
So your first job, you're cleaning up the 54th floor, and there was someone kind of special in your life that stepped in to help a little bit during that time, right?
Well, those people looked at me really funny. They didn't really want to hire me first because I was only 16, so they've never had anybody that young. But I needed a job. They understood, and so my boss, since he's never had anybody that young work, came to my floor every night during my lunch break and was teaching me English. So he would make me write down words, pronounce them, try to explain what they mean, and that's where I learned a lot more of the English.
So you got this boss who's kind of helping you out with some English. The rest of the other brothers and sisters kind of got some jobs, and you're all now bringing home a little bit of income to help provide for the family. And okay, we're maybe getting a little bit stable here, but it's not the nicest part of Chicago. Dad doesn't really like 11 kids being around all this negativity and bad stuff going on. So how long were you guys in Chicago?
Well, we were only there for about 3 months because after, my brothers and sisters that were going to school, were running home because people were fighting and we hear gun shooting. My dad didn't really want us growing up around that area, so he was looking around, found a friend that knew Oregon that said, hey, come to Portland, Oregon. It's much more quiet, much better living. So he packed the little ones on an airplane with their suitcase and flew to Oregon and left myself, my 2 other sisters, and my brother to pack up whatever other belongings we had in a station wagon and drive across country to Oregon.
The belongings in the station wagon just reminds me of Clark Griswold. The station wagon and driving across country always reminds me of Clark Griswold and National Lampoon. So you guys make it to Oregon, and you're in Portland, right? And so
Portland,
then what was there for you when you got there? What happened then?
Actually, nothing. We stayed with these friends, sleeping on the living room floor for a week until we could find a place to live. But at the same time, we immediately started looking for jobs and went back to work. So the next week I was working at, actually it was called Jaylee's Handbags. I knew enough English to be able to understand what my spot in the production line was, so I can just do my job and listen and learn as I'm working. So
probably learning English also, because people are speaking English all around you. You have no choice but to learn English. And we were also speaking before the show how interesting it is when you're forced to do something, how quickly you can actually adapt to it. Learning English, i.e. being in America, the only people that understand the language is your family. You have to learn English, and you have to learn it quickly. Now, you probably didn't have perfect English, but you were learning enough to at least get by and know your job duties and maybe conversate with some of your coworkers at lunch. So you work at the handbag company for a while, and then what's the next step in your life?
Well, I was working there, and I, learned a little bit of English and was looking around for, something more that had a future. And the church we went to, there was people there that work at Farmers Insurance, and they knew they had some openings, and I applied for a job at Farmers Insurance, and I knew enough English to be able to be the mail clerk. So that's what I did. I got the mail, distributed to all the departments, and tried to learn as much as I could. And shortly thereafter, I learned enough English that I was able to be promoted to be not just the mail clerk, a little more than that, and worked there and became an office manager within the 7 years that I worked there at the Farmers Insurance. So
I love it. Not barely speaking a lick of English, moving your way up the corporate ladder. So then what goes on? What's happening? You getting ready to think about having a baby? What's going on now?
Well, yeah, now I've gotten married and thinking about having a baby. So I wanted to be a stay-at-home mom, but as you know, you need to work and make enough income. So while I was still working at Farmers Insurance and I was pregnant, I started Tupperware, and so I can do that job, and became one of the Tupperware managers. So I had my own team. So when I have my baby, I can stay home
and still sell the Tupperware.
Still sell Tupperware, and did that for a while.
I love it. Anything you got to do to get by, and that's That's it, you guys. That's that hard work ethic, not giving up, saying, hey, I didn't get that job that I wanted. I might not be getting the pay that I wanted, but you know what? I need a job. I don't have many options, being that I'm not from here and I don't speak the native language. I'm going to take what I can get. But then now that I'm planning to have the baby, I got to also focus on what can I do while I'm a stay-at-home mom to still continue to bring some income in, start the Tupperware business. I think just that reminds me like Mary Kay, and like it's just, hey, it's a way to make some additional money for the family and not have to work a 9-to-5 job.
Right. At least you have some flexibility in order to be able to raise your kid and provide for those extra things in the family that you like to have. We all like to have those.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, I get it. And so that's working. At the same time, your husband is working, and then he basically takes over a company, becomes the owner of a company, and you decide to kind of step in and help him with that company, right?
Well, I mean, he took over, and, I had a job, he had a job, and we were trying to, do the best we can, and he needed help because, when you run a company, you need additional help. So I quit my job, and I start working with him installing rain gutters up on the rooftop.
That's the part I wanted to get to, was she's selling Tupperware. A month later, she's up on a ladder installing rain gutters. Stay tuned for the rest of the awesome story with Rodica Bartels. You're listening to Lifeness. Thanks. I'm here with the best mortgage guy in Arizona, Kelly McCurdy, talking about the truths and myths in short sales and foreclosures. Kelly, tell our listeners some good news.
Hey, Logan, we're so excited to announce that we can provide a client with an FHA mortgage 3 years after a foreclosure, 3 years after a short sale. And for our VA clients that probably served our country, we can provide them with a mortgage 2 years after a short sale and 2 years after a foreclosure.
Wow, that's awesome. Give Kelly McCurdy a call, 602-615-4881. Again, 602-615-4881 to find out how, and tell him Logan sent you.
Hit it. All right, dig it. Come on.
All right, and we are back, and we're going to finish up this awesome story, the definition of the melting pot, the land of the opportunity, freedom, liberty, luxuries, all the above. So before the break, we were with Rodica, and now she's installing rain gutters. She does it all. So she's installing rain gutters, and then at the same time, after that business kind of gets going with her husband, she decides she wants to start another business.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Forgot about that.
Yeah, forgot about that one. I had to remind you of this other business she started.
Yeah, well, while we were running the installing rain gutters, I opened an adult care facility. Bought 2 properties that were on the same parcels, it was there's a lot of that in Oregon where, elderly need a place to go and need care in more of the...
There's a lot of them here, too. I mean, you'll find those that people don't want to go to a nursing home or a retirement center. Well, how about you live in a house with 3, 4, 5 other residents that you can kind of at least hang out and talk with, and you've got personal care. You've got 1 or 2 people taking care of just 4, 5, or 6, not one person taking care of 25. So it's a better way to get care in those later years of your life.
Yeah, so that's what I did for 6 years, while he was running the rain gutters and I was running the adult care facility. That gave me a little more flexibility now that my son started school, so I can take him to school in the mornings and, go pick him up, and be involved in the school. So that gave me a little more flexibility. So
just businesswoman every way around. And then where does Arizona come into the picture?
Well, you need rain gutters in Oregon because it rains a lot. So we kind of got tired of the rain, so we decided we need a lot more sunshine. So we visited Arizona, and I said, this is God's country.
Yep.
Because it's so beautiful, Don't come in August, come in April, that's better.
Go. Yep.
So we decided to move to Arizona, and I decided that amongst the doing rain gutters and the adult care facility while we lived in Oregon, we also flipped houses. We picked them up, fixed them up, and sold them. So I figured I know real estate, so why don't I just move to Arizona and go in real estate? So I came here not knowing anybody, started working with Century 21 Northwest, trying to get my business off the ground.
Now, you started, what was your position when you started?
Well, I started as an agent, but I didn't know anybody, so I needed a job because, you can't live on nothing. You got to make money. And the receptionist position became available, so I took the receptionist position, so I was working as the receptionist at Century 21 Northwest.
All the while building your business as a realtor, and then, okay, I got enough business. I don't need the receptionist position anymore. Start producing homes, helping people buy, sell all over the place, and then fast forward 10 years.
Well, actually, I was doing that for a while, and the business partner that owned the business at that time and was the broker also was trying to do the same thing because he had just recently acquired the company, Century 21 Northwest, and so he needed help. So I became not only the selling real estate, I became the office manager trying to help him run the business at the same time and bring income in. So I was office manager for a while, and then he says, well, why don't just become partners? So that's how I started being the co-owner of Century 21 Northwest.
And has grown it and graduated it to the beautiful family business that we've got today. Your son, Justin, works at our company as the operations manager. Your brother, Cornell's a mortgage guy in the business. His girlfriend, Angela, works for the company as well.
Yeah.
Also got some other family involved. Our other co-owner, John, his mom and dad work for the company. His wife's got her license. His son works and does the photography for all of our listings. So it's a great story, you guys. And what's the one takeaway from it, Rodica, that you could share with everybody here? One thing that they could learn from this awesome story of just perseverance and faith and desire to want and achieve something better.
Well, I mean, we were raised poor, we try to do the best we can, but you don't have everything you need, but we had that core value that my parents taught us. We were Pentecostals. We believed in God. That's what we did. We gave, we did whatever it takes to make it in life and had that value instilled in us. So as I grow up, I've attended church. I was involved in church. I taught Sunday school. I volunteered to everything to give back because we came from nothing, and to be able to come to America, to this country, somebody gave to us to have the freedom to be here, and in return, I want to give back. And through our office, all the things we do for people, and how we've
we give back to the community any way we can. And this is why I know that this is so sincere, is because she's doing everything she can to not have to grab the tissues and show her sincere emotion and appreciation and gratitude for what the big man upstairs has provided to her and her family. And back to kind of this part to the beginning of the story, and I think what we're taking away is that having a faith in something bigger and better, that they're always going to be there to help kind of take care of you and put you in the right direction. Then going back to the fact that at the interview, your mom looks up to the heavens and says a little prayer, and that might have been the deciding factor. So the irony of how your faith and your guys' desire may have been the reason that you got out of Romania, I think that the irony of that is just so captivating, and the karma in that, and here we are today. So, hey, you guys, thank you so much, Rodica, for coming on and sharing your story. That's a blessing, and what a really cool story. And any of you guys out there, if you know people like this in your life that has great stories, have been through some struggles and been able to come out on the other side and, learn from it, we're always looking for good guests. Reach out to me on Facebook, give me a call, shoot me an email, Logan@LoganHallHomes.com. You guys, it's a great day. It's always a great day, and thank you so much for listening to Lifeness. Also, please remember all of our military men and women in our prayers for the sacrifices they make for our freedoms and these liberties and luxuries. Yes. Amen. God bless the military. And, as we always end this show with, live the life you love. Love the life you live. God bless. Make it a great day, and make someone else's day great as well. Thank you.